It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And what a crazy weekend. This was a crazy weekend followed by a crazy Friday. But hey, it's Monday, so it's a new day. So we just start from here. Before I get started, I just want to make sure that my audio is on my mic. It is. We got this shit. I'm excited. Okay, guys. So we're back to talk about the 90-Day Fiance sort of recap and what was going on. I actually really enjoyed this episode, even though sometimes I feel like it doesn't have as much of a heartbeat anymore. I guess I'll elaborate on that in a little bit. What do I need? Coffee? Guys, I just banged out 5 videos before this, so I'm just going today. So it's been kind of crazy because tomorrow I'm taking the day off and I'm going to spend some time with Jason. So I just had to do my videos for today and videos for tomorrow. I'm working in overload. But I do have one of my favorite callers in the chat to help me talk about 90-Day Fiance and all of the crazy dynamics that are going on. I want to start off with Andre and Elizabeth, though. But before I do, let's bring up Kempire. I like to say that just in case you don't know I'm going to bring you up. That way you're prepared for when I do bring you up. Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. And we also, by the way, we have Muriel in the room. Muriel said, hi, everyone. Muriel, we hope that you're feeling better. Muriel had surgery, so we're sending you all the love. How's it going, Kempire?
I literally was doing the same thing. I was preparing another video, and I was like, do I have enough time?
It's crazy. I was telling Jason today because this morning I had to go to the chiropractor, and I had 2 hours to bang out 5 videos, and Jason's like, there's no way in hell. And I was like, watch me. I had to, we have to get ready. We're about to go out of town for a day and going to spend some time. So I just didn't want to go ghost on YouTube. You know how this works. You go ghost and somebody else is filling your spot. So I had to make sure I still had my ducks in a row.
They don't realize the hard work.
It's crazy, but it's fun. It's a good job. Hey, I'm not complaining. My dad climbs telephone poles and he's out in the heat all day. So this is a good sort of situation. I'm not complaining about it.
Still work though.
Yeah. And by the way, Kempire, before we jump into the 90-day, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. I did an incredible interview. Kempire, did you watch Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember Gina Marie, the psychic medium?
Yes.
Okay. So I did an interview with her and I was talking with her and I promised her we're not going to do any channeling. I don't want her to do a reading for me because she's booked out until 2023, 2024. And then I have this.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to strangle
reality.
Okay. It's the reality. But 2023, 2024. And at the end of the reading, she goes, I just have to tell you something. She's like, I'm channeling right now and I know I'm not supposed to be. But this was on Saturday. She's like, I'm getting a vision of a man who's right next to you, and the man has his chest cut open. I don't mean to be gory. She's like, but it's bloody. He had his chest cut open. He's passed on to the other side, and he's here with you. And I was like, here with me. And Saturday was the passing of Jason's father, the anniversary of it.
Oh,
and
yes.
His dad had an open chest surgery. And I just thought it was mind blowing. I mean, this woman is the real deal. So she just really blew me away. I couldn't believe it.
And she's booked up till the next couple of years. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Okay. All right. So with that, I am going to go up there and strangle someone. Please.
Ignore it. We can barely hear it.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to put this down. Let's jump into 90-Day Fiance. I want to talk about Andre and Elizabeth. This was interesting to me because Andre still came back into this work situation with a little bit of an ego. And I thought it was funny. He shows up. First of all, Chuck, Charlie, Becky, Elizabeth, you've said this. You feel like it's a little bit manufactured. They know what they're doing. The dad knew when he showed up that Charlie was going to be there. And how the hell does Becky just come out of nowhere? Like, this isn't pre-planned. Do you agree or no?
I agree with you. I feel like I used to enjoy Andre and Libby's story because it felt a little bit more natural. But now that we know that she's on OnlyFans and now, she looked like she's desperate for a check. And it's becoming across too fake to me, the entire situation.
I can't even believe that he lets her on OnlyFans, to be honest with you.
Well, let's look.
I mean, he's kind of controlling.
Well, he's controlling, but he's also lazy. He doesn't want to work. So if this is going to bring in money, let's have a fake storyline. Let's do OnlyFans. Let's do whatever we can to bring in this easy money. That way I don't really have to sell a house.
Right. Well, and the way that he talks about Chuck, to be honest with you, I would never have someone in my life, even though they have a baby together and she kind of has to navigate this differently, I guess. But I would never have someone in my life who talks about my parents like that. And the way he's like, oh, I'm going to go get Chuck's money. I'm like, his daughter's right here.
She does the same thing.
Right here.
She just doesn't say it.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything about it. But I think it's crazy. And Charlie also made an Instagram video after last night's show. And he was like sitting there with his kid in the background, jumping on the couch, cheering him on. And he's like, Andre thought he was going to walk up into my house and think that he runs, go F yourself. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, if there's anything that is real to this storyline, it's the fact that the family does not like him.
Rightfully so. I mean, honestly, I do feel like the entire family's in on this sort of forced storyline. And like I said before, in the past, I felt like it was more interesting. But now it just feels very, very forced. And it turns me off so much. Because I know there's a lot of forced storylines, including our girl Angela. But it's still enjoyable to watch. Them, no, not really. Okay.
And so for Becky, I mean, before I move on from this, because it is kind of crazy to watch, Becky showing up pre-produced, not pre-produced. Do you think there was any?
That was very forced.
It was?
That was very forced. Even her reaction just wasn't believable. Do I feel like she didn't know? Why was she all of a sudden found out? She didn't reveal how she found out. And it's sort of like, okay, it just was such a turn off. And also Andre thinking that, oh, this first project, I'm going to be the listing agent on it and I'm going to be able to make money immediately. You've never sold a house before, Andre. You've never sold a house before. Learn the business.
No, I completely agree with you. And for her, she's obviously been in the business for a while, and this is a family business. Each person has like a moving part that contributes to it. And I'm just surprised that he not only thinks he's going to get a loan, come in, help flip the house, take control, and he's going to list it. What are you talking about? This guy's on something.
In all reality, I think if this was a real storyline, I think Andre would have went and worked for someone else and learned the business. And that's why I feel like with this particular situation, it's for TV, because producers know people like the interaction and the drama between him and the rest of the family. So they want to continue that storyline. But I feel like it's just lazy producing.
Okay, well, you did just bring up Angela Deem, and you said that you felt like her storyline is a little forced. And I want to ask you why you think that, because I don't think she is still getting surgery. She's getting her body ripped open, which was very graphic. I hate stuff like that. Why do you think that?
I think with Angela, not all of it's very forced, but Angela's just entertaining. I feel like she really brings it in every season just because she's just had that personality. You know what I mean? So for me, there are moments where it feels forced, especially when she's interacting with Michael in regards to, oh, you getting work done. I don't approve of this. Like, she really cares what Michael thinks. She doesn't care.
Okay. I keep on muting myself off and on because of this. Sorry. But
no worries.
I agree with you. And I agree with you for the simple fact. I agree with you for the simple fact that, I think it's funny, and she loves to get a rise out of Michael, especially when she's showing him the doctor, and she's like, like, God, this woman.
I mean, I thought it was interesting to see the doctor, the upgraded version of Michael, interact with Michael over the phone. But Michael was just like, they're talking about her body, which I thought was crazy. Like, we are in 2021, right? You're talking about her breast size, and if he's going to be satisfied with her breast size, come on now.
It kind of feels like it sets you back a little bit, but also I get it too. You're with your partner, and they like a certain physical, part of your body, that they really celebrate. And this was a topic of conversation. Now, I want to know from anybody in the chat, if you are a woman and you have a husband and say you want to do something for yourself, like you want to do the band around your stomach to lose weight, or you want to have like a boob lift or something like that, do you take your husband's thoughts and perspective into consideration? I mean, if you say you're married, Kempire, and you want to do maybe like a little nip tuck, or you want to change something on your face, say you wanted to get your cheeks done or fillers or a nose job, something, say you wanted to do something. Do you care what your partner says?
Honestly, no. I think if I was going into surgery, of course, I'm going to have a conversation with them, and they probably would be, ideally, hopefully, would be like, "Oh no, you don't need to change anything about yourself." But it's always an individual choice. At the end of the day, that's going to be Angela's decision because she doesn't feel good about her body. I look at the end of the day, I will let my partner know, but they're not a deciding factor.
Okay. Okay. And I'm seeing on here, Kathy said no. Natalia said my perspective. Tara said no. Alyssa said, I think the convo with the doc was okay, but we shouldn't have been in the room. That was a weird thing. And it was kind of weird to watch them talk about her boobs as they're like taking the extra tissue out.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, he thought he wasn't going to be happy with this. And I'm sitting here thinking, I feel like we're not supposed to be.
Well, she signed off on it.
Yeah.
Angela signed off. She knows what makes for good TV. And this is why we appreciate Angela. She's letting us in her deepest, darkest parts.
See, I kind of have my own perspective on this too, because one time Jason told me, because, you know, I've had people, actually, I had somebody at Disney one time ask me, and then we had a friend who was visiting, and they're like, where did you get your lips done? I'm like, girl, I've never got my lips done. Who says that? And then Jason's like, you know, I feel like I could do like a little filler in my top lip. I was like, you are not doing that. Because there was this guy who used to run around West Hollywood. He's known as the human Ken doll, and he's had over 100-something surgeries.
I've seen him.
And yep, see, and you know, no disrespect or anything, but you start to see where, like, I feel like when you try to do these things, you want the most natural looking outcome, and you start to see where things start looking a little off.
Yes.
And I don't know, like when Jason said it, I was like, no, you can't do that.
But what if he wanted to do it to make himself feel better?
I'll buy you another dog.
Oh,
I don't know what to say.
Like another child.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what to say. I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to walk around with like Ronald McDonald. Like, say something goes wrong and he's like all clowned out. I don't want that. You know what I mean? It's your face. It's your face. No. And once you start injecting and putting stuff into your body, who knows how your body's going to react to it?
It's true. It's true. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it would be his choice, but you're right. It's just sort of something you don't want the person you fell in love with, the natural part of what you fell in love with, to be all of a sudden distorted. I actually saw someone recently that I know that does a lot of that stuff. And I was looking, I was like, ooh, it might be a little bit too much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, honestly, who was it? Larissa, she had a lot of work done.
Ooh, that was good work, though.
Yeah, I mean, and her body's.
That was some good work with Larissa. I have to say, she looks like a completely different person. She does look a little bit more like a Barbie doll now, and she may have gone a little too far, but I think she looks good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I want to sway this conversation to Kalani and Asuelu. We found out that Asuelu is sleeping in a different room, a game room, and he only comes around when he wants to get intimate with her. This is not romantic. This is such a kind of off situation. Thoughts?
Kalani and Asuelu, because I literally watched this morning because I was just like, and I said this multiple times, I don't understand how Kalani even looks at him in a sexual way, never mind actually having sex with him.
He's like a big baby.
Her third child, her oldest child, but her third child.
You know, I saw a meme where they were making fun of Colini because they're like, I know that your broke, homeless, single sister is not chiming in on your relationship. And I was like, that's like, people are ruthless.
I don't think there's anything wrong with her sister chiming in, because clearly we all are chiming in and we all see the relationship as a problem. And I feel like this is a real storyline. I don't think Asuelu is swift enough or has the mental capacity enough to be able to give us space. I'm sorry. That's how I felt this last episode.
I mean, his reactions are very heavy, and we always get to see the real Asuelu, because when she says something that he doesn't like, he gets really angry and has to walk away. I'm curious what that looks like when the cameras aren't around, because he's a little off. I'm not going to lie.
Did you see how he sort of went in front of her at one point? I was like, that's a little aggressive. I didn't like how he went in front of her like that. And the other part of why I feel like their storyline is real, you know, sometimes you see people cry on TV and you're waiting to see the tears. Those tears come flowing with Kalani. I really feel like she's really bothered by this whole situation. to be honest with you. That's just how I feel. I don't know how she, like I said, I don't know how she looks at him in a loving way.
Oh my gosh.
All right, just talk through it.
Nah, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash the like button. Apparently, I live in a construction zone now. I don't know what the hell is going on up there, but it better be some damn good renovations to be buying into our 90-day fiance recap time.
Reality TV means reality setting in for this video, which is fine. I can hear you clearly, though. So
Okay, good. I feel better. Okay, so Brandon and Julia, let's move on to them really quick. Julia ends up going to meet with the wedding planner, and she, I guess, learned a little bit about what it takes, and the wedding planner kind of validated Brandon's thoughts a little bit with the English and kind of furthering her education. However, I was surprised at the end that she didn't even offer, like, hey, can I follow you? Can I go around with you? Something.
of course not. That's the thing with Brandon and Julie. I'm tired of their storyline. Their storyline to me is just, there's not a lot there, and they're trying to stir something up. That's why next week we're going to see her get jealous, sort of like the Mike and Natalie situation. I'm like, okay, you guys have nothing here. We're not even seeing the parents that much anymore, and they're the bag of weird that we really are looking forward to.
Okay. Okay. Well, since you brought up Natalie and Mike and Natalie, I can't even believe that Natalie apologized to Mike, because I really didn't think she was in the wrong. Should she have brought it up on camera? Maybe not, but also that's what you signed up for. You signed up to be on a reality TV show, and you can't just give us cotton candy and unicorns all the time. We need the conflict and the resolution, but we need to know what's really going on behind the scenes. And this was a problem for her. He's getting nudes.
Well, and that was the part I wasn't sure about, because I was like, is he confirming that he did receive a nude? Because look, I'm having a very visceral reaction to every time Mike comes on the camera now. I see him come on, and I'm like, oh God, here we go with this one again.
Yeah, no, and I mean, the fact that, like, the way his mom's acting too, when he's like, are you going to make Natalie some tofurkey for Thanksgiving? And she's like, no. Are you going to be nice? I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, girl, you're the one who was completely disrespectful to their marriage.
Well, you know what? It's funny with the mother and Mike situation. It's a very weird relationship. It's almost I can't even think of the horror movie where it's the mother and son. If anyone can think of it in the chat, let us know. But that's what I get. That's exactly what I get when I see their relationship, and when he described their relationship, their little banter back and forth. It's a little weird. Not a little weird. It's a lot weird. And I feel sorry for Natalie that she married into this family.
Yeah, but she married into this family because she's going to get her green card, establish herself in America, and she's going to leave his ass. I feel like, let's be real.
Apparently, allegedly, she already has.
Exactly. And that's the point. And, somebody just said this in here. Where was it?
Bates Motel, yes.
I can't take Mike and his eye rolls.
I roll at him every time he comes on the screen.
And then Celia said, I know that feeling. It can get annoying with people doing work in the apartment. For me, it was when I was trying to watch something and the noise happening. But Adam, you're okay. We hear you.
Yes.
Hey, I appreciate you. No, and somebody else said maybe they'll take a Diet Coke break. Well, if they don't, I'll go knock on their door. I'll offer them a 6-pack and a nice cold glass of shut the hell up.
Someone mentioned in the comments Bates Motel. Yes, the Bates Motel movie.
Bates Motel.
Oh, that's the vibe I was getting from this mother and son. Like, she should be worried.
They're strange. And I also don't think that she really has a leg to stand on to be awful to Natalie. I think that Natalie has kind of taken enough from her mom, or from his mom, and she ruined her wedding day. So yeah. I think at the least, now they're married, you might want to go with the flow, sis. Right?
This. Well, it's funny, because if I had found out that my partner's mom said that, I would be done with them, honestly. Because I was like, what? Like, why would you do something like that? Ruin my special day like that?
Yeah, and she's still going to Tulsa. She's still going to Oklahoma. She's willing to go. She wants to cook one of her dishes. She's wanting to participate, and he said that she's like the Sour Patch Kid. Like, first she's sour, then she's sweet. But also, he kind of reminds me of like Yogi Bear or whatever. You know what I mean? He's like,
you're being kind, because I called him an ogre.
Yeah, okay, well, I wasn't going to say that. But, and he's kind of an ASS. I'm not going to lie. Like, the guy, he's like, no, you're going to apologize to me. I'm thinking in my head, well, you got up, you left her at a hotel by herself. She's still a female. Granted, she does have production around her, so she does still have the support. But you got up and walked away from your wife. If I'm ever in an argument or whatever, I don't get up. We might have to walk away from each other in the moment, but you still come back together. You're not supposed to go to bed mad at each other. That's the cardinal rule, right? You're supposed to try to have some resolve before you go to bed. And you don't just leave the person high and dry, especially not on your birthday. When she tried to make it special, she just brought up something that was bothering her because he started going in on the fact that he felt like, I don't know if my friends are going to like you. You come off a little harsh. And she's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like them because they send you photos of their boobs.
Well, you know what it is? I think he went and met another woman. Now I really do not even trust Mike because I feel like you went and got your bags. You used that as an excuse to leave and go do whatever you do when you go to the forest.
Yeah, I agree with that. I honestly, and I don't know who's lining up to be with Mike, but I really do. Honestly, I agree with it. I think it's probably true.
Did you notice when he was on his phone and he was going to sit down, he sort of kind of looked over his shoulder? I don't trust Mike anymore. Now I see why she might be. Just saying. I don't trust him.
It must be really lonely in the woods over there. Listen, it honestly, because I'm not going based off of looks. I'm not that shallow. This isn't a total looks thing. This is personality, looks, the way he acts, his mannerisms. I don't really find him to be this big catch. Now, do I think Natalie's this huge catch either? I think sometimes she comes off a little brash and she's very just like, this is the way I want it. I want you to not be fat. I want you to eat healthy. I want you to stop drinking. And sure, that's like a little naggy and annoying, but at the end of the day, I think that she's closer to a 10 than he is.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Mike in the beginning, but then this sort of hemming and hawing about getting married, and I just over time have just grown this distaste for him because I was like, what is wrong with you? And it could be editing, but I don't know if it's editing. We could blame editing for a lot of things, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something a little shady about Mike that I'm not enjoying this season.
I agree. I'm going to bring up another opinion really quick. Hi, Dana.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Fine.
Look, we're all back here again. So, Dana, really quick, do you want to chime in on Mike and Natalie and how you feel about this couple?
He knew what he was getting when he brought her over. I feel like him bringing her back over was sort of a passive-aggressive way to pay her back for embarrassing him on television.
Oh.
And to get extra money. Because let's face it, he's not rich. He needs the extra money. And he can get her back and publicly humiliate her.
That's terrible.
Because he has not been nice. I mean, yeah, she's got issues. He knew it from the get-go, out of the gate, what she was like. But he has not been nice since she came back over. Period.
I know, but she doesn't really lose in this situation because she's here. She's married, and now he's responsible for her for, is it the next 10 years or 13 years?
10,
yeah.
For the next 10 years.
Right. But still, he got to save face in some way by jacking her up.
I don't know if I'm making an observation. I'm not making a dig, but him and Mullet Mom over there are not saving face. They are being a little passive aggressive.
A little. A huge lot. But I don't know. If he divorces her, he's still responsible for her, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He is.
To what degree? Does he have to pay for her, give her money?
She can't go on public assistance. He would have to take care of her for the next 10 years.
What a dummy.
Yeah, that's what his mom was trying to say.
I don't know. You know what the thing is with the whole Mike and Natalie situation, I do feel like there is some forced storylines. I also feel like the whole hemming and hawing or whatever it may be with Mike might be something else going on with him in regards to his mental capacity. I know I've been bringing that up a lot this episode, but I mean, to go on a reality show, especially this particular one, there has to be. Dana's the perfect person to ask. The Asuelu situation and Mike's situation, the mental capacity situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Asuelu, I feel like both of them don't have a lot of emotional intelligence, at all. Asuelu, I feel like he may have a deficit. Let's just say the truth. I feel like he may have a he's not technically his age cognitively.
Thank you.
I like how you worded that.
Better than that.
I like how you worded that. There's another person in here, and I know our 90-day K1 visa rep is waiting to chime in on this. You go ahead, do that spin in that chair, Kempire. Hi, Miriam.
You're muted, girl.
You're muted. I was muted because I have a jackhammer above my head, but you're muted for I don't know why. You're still muted.
This is hilarious to me. Miriam, you're muted.
Miriam, you're muted.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Whenever I see Empire, I mute myself.
Oh. Okay.
She gets flustered.
All right. So before we move on to Yara and Jovi, Miriam, how do you feel about Asuelu and Kalani? And were you shocked finding out that he sleeps in a different room? To be honest with you, I wasn't shocked by that.
I wasn't.
No?
No, I wasn't at all. I feel like they are together in the show for the money. It's obvious. And I don't hate her for doing that because she needs to make a living, kind of. But we see what he does on the show. She's crazy wanting to buy a house with a man like that.
I think that's a storyline.
I think so. I hope she's being smart and not putting the house or making him sign something that the house is only owned by her. I hope she's being smart.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think she is, though.
You know, one couple, though, that I really have to, and this is like a little segue here, but before I do, guys, make sure that you smash that like button, show some love. Yara and Jovi, I'm watching them, and I'm not minding them, to be honest with you. Yara's in full mommy mode, and it seems like Jovi feels like he's gotten a little bit left behind in this process. But at the end of the day, if I were him, I would be celebrating the fact that she's so attached to that baby, because I would know in my head, I'm leaving in for 2 months to go to work, and at least she some moms, I could be wrong, but don't some moms, they get their baby and they might go through postpartum or something where they don't feel connected to the baby, or they don't, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, it happens. I had postpartum with my first child. Okay. I mean, I took care of him and I wanted everything to do with him, but it was torture and you can't do anything about it. Yeah. I had to get help, and I did get help. But, yeah, it wasn't that I didn't feel connected to him. I was terrified.
Okay. Well, see, and that's what I'm saying for Yara. I think that it's good. I think this is something that he should really celebrate. But also, I understand that he's like, I'm leaving in a few weeks. I just want to spend time with you. And when he was graphic about the fact that they can't get intimate because of the fact that she gave birth, I'm like, okay, you don't have to we understand how this works. You don't have to give us all of that.
Oh, wow. He had to wait, 6 weeks?
Yeah, and not only that, he thinks that she's a little overboard. But watching her at dinner, the fact that he was shocked you've never seen a woman breastfeed in public, I wasn't shocked by that at all. I think maybe because I worked in restaurants for so long, but I feel like that's such a normal thing.
I think people are still shocked by that, unfortunately, because that's always still a heated debate for some reason about women breastfeeding in public. So I wasn't surprised that he felt that way because Jovi's immature. I was a little surprised on how he was handling the baby, though. He seemed a little rough.
And you can... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Jovi doesn't have a problem with women dropping their boobs in a strip joint in public.
Okay. Hey, okay. Okay. All right. Before we move on, I want to talk about I want to talk about
I can talk about the postpartum thing. Okay. I really think it's not her. She's young. When my way of mothering my first child was so different than my third. It's a learning curve. And the baby is her whole thing right now. She doesn't have family here. So she's being soaked into it. So I feel like hopefully it's not postpartum. I wouldn't think so, but she's so young and that's all she has to be worried. It's the little girl. So this is why she's acting the way she is.
Okay. And, I guess moving forward, there's one other couple who I at first did not like this couple, and Kempire kind of swayed me. Kempire, do you know who I'm talking about?
Which one? Wait. I can't think of their names.
Well, that's how I feel about them too.
Oh, Ronald and Tiffany.
Yep, Ronald and Tiffany. I thought it was so sad watching the son who's calling him. He's like, "Hey, Dad, let me show you this. Hey, Dad." And obviously, we know that's not his biological father, but he gets excited, and I think that there's going to be a lot of disappointment in the long run here. Like it's obvious that she's not moving to Africa, and even the son said that. He's like, "No, we're not moving there." He's like, "Yes, you are." And the son's like, "No, we're not, Dad. We're not moving there." And I feel bad because it's just like what's coming. Or do you think I'm wrong?
I think that is going to be coming because she didn't like living there. There's no possibility of that. So that's why they're trying to bring him here. I don't think he's going to be able to come here, though, just based off his record. I'd be shocked if they did approve it. But you never know. Our government always surprises us. But go ahead.
Oh, no. You go ahead.
No, so in regards to their storyline this week, I do feel like it's a real storyline in comparison to some of the other couples. But I'm still Team Tiffany because I feel like she's trying to raise 2 kids on her own and make a living. She just moved out on her own. He's being critical of the way that the place looks. Like, come on, you didn't help with this at all.
Yeah, you should be applauding her. Huh?
She's the talent of TLC. He's not.
Right.
Is he getting paid at all about this?
That's up to her.
I have a feeling, I'm not defending him, but I have a feeling that this is where he comes from. He is like, I'm not getting paid to do this. So this is why you are getting paid. You, because of the show, you are the one that needs to be responsible for the tickets and come in here. This is how I feel like.
Devil's advocate, though, she's also not getting child support. So she's taking care of her baby and the son who he's also claiming, even though that's not his biological child. And even though she's getting paid that $20,000-$30,000 check, it only goes so far.
Yeah, but this is the situation. She knew what she was getting herself into. It's not like even if
she didn't know that he had a criminal background.
No, she didn't know it.
Yeah. Even if she wants to ask for child support, she can't because he didn't have a job when they got married. So it's okay. Like on the paper, yeah, she needs child support, this and that. But the premise on how they got together on the show was known. So, and she's an adult and she consented to that. So for her, let's say, just to flip and go to the court and ask for child support, like he doesn't have a job. This is how it works even here. If you make more money than the other, you don't get child support. You give child support for the time. So, and
I know, but then what's the incentive for him to work then if it's that easy?
Exactly.
That's not the way it worked for me. I mean, I wasn't getting child support for my son, and he was responsible for it, and he would easily not work at times, so he didn't have to give it to me. I went to court, and they ruled in my favor and said, you have to give all this back child support. We don't care what you have to do. You better get a job or you're going to jail.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's in America.
But in Ronald's situation, he's in South Africa, so he has no incentive to, because the court can't make him do anything.
Right. Yeah. But that being said, you can't get blood out of a stone, but morally speaking.
I've never heard that.
Morally speaking, he has a child, and if he's going to be a father and he wants that family together, he better get off his butt.
Well, and to be fair too, just speaking on what you're saying, Miriam, if you guys remember on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Jason had, what is it, like 66 degrees in this house? I have like all the elements working against me today, guys. I don't know what's going on. But on the Real Housewives of Atlanta,
I love the side bickering.
He's got all the Z's going. He's buzzing. He's freezing.
Yeah, Candy Burris, remember? She had to get paid child support, and she's worth 30-something million.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but I feel like in case of I think they had an agreement, and I think now she's turning on him. She's feeling like now she has a following. She doesn't need him, so she's trying to deassociate herself from him. I believe her tears, not so much.
Oh.
I don't think I don't think she's really suffering because all this revelation that she came to was obvious from the get-go. Her mother, she grew hair on her tongue telling her that. Like they were not for this marriage because of these same reasons. So for her now to come into terms that now she had this aha moment, I find it hard to believe. And in this one, I'm team the kids, not Tiffany nor Ronald. I feel like they are casualties.
But there are so many women that get into these predicaments just like Tiffany. So to me, Tiffany is not necessarily unique. Should she have known better? Yes. So should have Kalani. She ended up having two kids with this man. So I don't think Tiffany's forcing a storyline here. I do believe there's a lot of truth there. Of course, things are going to be produced because it is a reality show. But I do believe Tiffany, yes, she's made some bad choices in men, obviously. But I also feel like, she's trying to take care of her children. I think she loves her children. She wants to provide for her children, and she can't do that alone.
And sometimes you let your heart override your common sense. And you hope and pray some things are going to work out, even when your head would tell you, you dummy, you should have known.
I agree with you. But
I have
my
a question.
Is, I became part of this group that follows all news 90 Day Fiance. And oh my God, like I can't unsee what I've been seeing.
Oh gosh.
It's like all of the cast, they do very promiscuous behavior online and on fans only. This is crazy. I haven't seen anything with Tiffany, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's the next.
Can you imagine Angela comes out with her new body on OnlyFans?
Shut up.
Wait, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Do we know why?
You deserve that for saying Angela on OnlyFans. Buzz.
I saw more of Avery than I ever wished I wanted to see. And the family, what do I call them? The ones in Florida, like Libby's family, Libby herself. OMG. What the heck? This is why I don't believe any of them. I think these are all cast like future.
And why would he get
porn
deported?
Wannabes, stars.
Who Adam?
Porn stars wannabes.
But again, Tiffany's husband spent $7,000 on that motorcycle.
I think wasn't like 3,000. It wasn't 7,000. Maybe 7,000 in his money, but not. I think it was like 3,000 American that he spent on fixing his motorcycle. And she pointed that out specifically, and that's where I was like, oh no. If you had money to do that, and I get it, it's probably his means of getting back and forth from somewhere. But you could put some money in if you really want to see your family. At least help her. She wants to see effort. He's not showing any sort of effort.
I mean, if he made any kind of effort whatsoever, she would be like, "Oh, thank God."
Yes, like she wouldn't even care about the tickets.
I agree, but I think I'm trying to be devil's advocate here, just for the sake of I think his standpoint is, what am I getting money-wise from this? You are getting everything. So just by being with you in this show, I am helping you. Which, to be honest with you, yes, he is helping her to have the storyline that they have. So I feel like if you ask him, if I was in his place, I would think I need a share of this so that I can step up. You're asking me to step up monetarily? Yeah, of course I would be looking for a job. I'm not condoning that behavior from him. But I feel like he thinks, but you're making money because of something I'm helping you. This is not all on you. It's both of us. And you're the one getting paid. But it's another story if TLC is paying him directly. I don't know that. I don't have access to their payment records.
I feel like she's probably thinking, no, you get to sleep at night and you don't have to worry about changing a dirty diaper. And
the kid being sick.
Think about all those expenses. Think about rent. Think about childcare. All those elements he's not paying for. That $20,000, that small check is not enough.
I agree. I wanted to ask you guys something really quick before this starts buzzing again. Do we know why Michael has not been permitted to come to the United States yet? He didn't have a criminal background, right?
No, but they're very finicky. Every situation is very unique. Certain situations you're like, oh, he's never going to get a visa, and all of a sudden that person gets a visa. It really depends on the representative handling your paperwork.
I feel like they don't believe that their story is true. Like that was from the get-go. I don't think that they have any section of the embassy there that watches TLC, like we have one that watches Bravo from the IRS. I don't think they have that there. They are clearly a mismatch, and it was obvious, like anybody from the outside would think this is an arranged marriage it's not real relationship. So he just wants to go to the United States because he wants to go to the United States. It's not because they're really getting married. And now that they're married legally there, it's another ballpark. Now the immigration process is arduous, is repetitive, and freaking long.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to come here to the United States as an immigrant, like I was going to at the beginning, it would have taken at least 2 to 3 years for them to accept me and give me the visa. But with the K1 visa, that was in 2 months I got it. And when I came here, I got married within the 90 days. So they lost that aspect of him being able to come here fast. But now it's like...
and they also treat every country differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and keep in mind, this is stereotypical, but Nigeria is always labeled as there's a lot of scams coming out of there. So I think that also plays a part as well, because we have human beings that are making these decisions. So they're taking into account their own sort of thoughts on certain countries, what they've seen. I think that's part of the reason why it's been so hard for Michael and Angela to be together.
Well, and we saw in the upcoming episode that they're saying that Andre might get deported. Do we know why that is?
I think it's a fourth storyline. Because I was like, really? At this point?
Did you check their OnlyFans image?
Say it again?
All of them? Oh my God.
I don't know.
You with this only.
They want a spin-off. They think they're going to get a spin-off After Dark in HDTV. That's what they think, to flip houses while they're flipping something else. It's going to be...
I've never purchased...
All of them. It's all of them. I just didn't see anything from the dad. But the sisters and even Andre, they're they're doing it.
When we saw the little preview of them having that whole deportation conversation, I said, how long has Andre been in the country?
That's what I was thinking.
No.
It's been what, 3 years now?
Unless he's committed a crime, then he should be worried.
They wouldn't have granted him the green card in the first place. Or, now he's working here. So he has a green card.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless he's done something after he's gotten the green card.
But that whole family has been looked at as being a little scammy, so there's no telling, right?
A little?
Yeah.
Someone in the chat set called them the cut dumping. I can't even pronounce it.
It's terrible. They are terrible. They need to do better in casting. There are so many stories that really are true. Like Avery, and look at the difference between that Avery that went to Africa and Avery and Omar from Syria.
Yes. They're still
He's
together.
here, I heard. Like, this is a real couple.
Yeah, you don't hear much about them. That's odd, right?
Yeah, because they're perfect to each other. Because they're not salacious. And he's here now, and he has a degree. He will be able to, eventually in the future, work. They're a good story, a feel-good story for these types of
Yeah, TLC doesn't want to invest in the good stories.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
But I'd like to see some of the good stories and what the past takes. I mean,
in a mix. I feel like they think Brandon and Julia and Yara and Jovi were the good stories, but they're not. We don't get these maybe with Yara and the baby, a little bit of a heartwarming feeling, but I'm also bored.
Me too.
I'm honest. Just saying.
Yeah, me too. I'm bored. I watch the show so that I can talk to you guys.
Well, with that, I think they're literally about to come through my ceiling. Before they start going crazier up here, I did want to say, we covered all the couples, and I wanted to thank you guys for joining me in this chat. We ended up lasting 45 minutes with a jackhammer above my head, so I'm super surprised by that. But no, thank you guys. Thank you, Kempire. Thank you, Dana. And thank you, Miriam. I'm going to be, like I said, uploading more videos this week. And I'm excited for next week's episode of 90 Day Fiance. But don't forget, guys, this is the week of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills premiere. So it's going to be good. Before we go,
I need Xanax.
Yeah. And I'm doing the recap with Dana Wilkie, who was on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I feel like she's going to have a good insight. At least, like, you know how Danielle Staub kind of is a critic for New Jersey. Dana Wilkie will come over and be a critic for Beverly Hills. I think it'll be good. But with that, can you tell us where we can find you? We'll start with you, Dana.
You can find me at Dear Dana on YouTube. I just had a brain glitch. Anyway. On YouTube, you can find me at www.youtube.com/Dear Dana. And you can find me at Dear Dana3 on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. Miriam?
Well, I want to thank my 3 subscribers that I know by name. You find me on YouTube, following the 3 of you. Wait, the 3 of you. But on Instagram, I am at not paid by anyone. Not underscore paid underscore by underscore anyone yet. I'm hoping someone hires me.
Okay.
I hope someone sees something in me.
Hey, don't ever lose that ambition.
Oh, Lord. Oh, it's my turn. Everyone can follow me on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV. And you can follow me on social media. Everything is at the Kempire.
Yes.
All right. Do you hear this? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you.
I love the lights.
It sounds so wrong. It just sounds so
Adam, and I love you
But
wearing
so right.
black.
Hey, Jake, look, it has like a look. I was gonna say it has a dimmer. So fun.
Oh.
Yeah. And it has like a little speed you can mode.
I love it.
Okay, we need that for like.
Listen, we need party. Yay.
Okay.
We just have to warn people that don't get like a seizure.
Yeah,
thank you guys, and we'll see you super soon. I appreciate you guys, and we will be back on lives on Wednesday.
Okay.
Adam, you know what you can do? Whenever someone says something controversial, you can make the sign light up like that.
Hey, I like that.
Warning.
I have lots of ideas.
I'm trying to avoid that,
Call me,
especially
call
after the past week. I'm trying to avoid any controversial anything being said on here, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Miriam and I know about that.
Okay. All right. We love you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye, guys.
Take it easy, Breezy.
All right, guys. So make sure that you go follow Dana, you go follow Miriam, go follow Kempire. They're awesome and their channels are great. Even Miriam with her 3 subscribers. She could always use 3 more. Guys, this is buzzing. That's going off. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to check out the videos I'm dropping today. And if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Bye, guys. Bye.